my friend and neighbor. His
Nice.
beautiful new mug. I love it. Oh,
Nice.
okay. Welcome everybody to the Spirit Café Sessions with Nikki and Kim.
Here we go. Here we go.
I was just showing Kim my new mug. Anyone that actually watches the video, since we know that a lot of you don't, look at my new pretty mug. Believe it or not, guys, we can see that on our end. And I'm always telling Kim, no one's watching. Anyway,
We can see if you're
it's fine.
watching or not.
Yeah, we don't care if you guys watch. If you guys are just listeners, even that's fine. We don't care. I was kidding.
You're just missing some comedic gold because I'm
Yeah, no, from
doing
Kim.
stuff all the time. So
You're missing Kim flailing about. Everybody,
you're missing me moving down with my microphone, or
falling out of her chair.
I've fallen out of my chair. Remember that my microphone broke, and that one time my chair went all the way down. Yeah, you got it. You're missing
that was
out.
a good one,
So
too. Yeah. So
tell us what
anyway.
episode those are in. Maybe you can win a reading.
Oh my God. So weird you brought that up. Okay. There is two clients of mine that listened to the last couple podcasts, and one of them actually asked me this week if we were ever going to do a giveaway. So I was going to bring that up to Kim. Maybe one day Kim and I will do some kind of giveaway to the listeners. We'll figure that out maybe, but I think it's a good idea. Give away a reading or readings, because we both do readings. Something like that. But anyway.
All right.
Okay. What is our topic of the day?
Well, you told
Disclaimer.
me you still didn't tell me what you're drinking. You showed your cup.
Oh, I did. I always forget that. Okay, so I am drinking hibiscus lemon tea. It's the same one I drank a couple weeks ago, but I crushed, you don't crush. I smushed raspberries and strawberries into it, like fresh ones, to give it a fruity little edge on there. And then I put echinacea in it because Nicole woke up today with a sore throat. And she is hoping she's not getting sick, and she's hoping it's just because the weather is really dry in Ontario. Even it's very nice, it's just very dry.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like a weird mixture of tea.
It's called muddled.
Muddled.
You muddled.
You're right. Muddled. That's it. Not smushed it. That's
I'm
what
fancy.
You are fancy. Tarot of the day is the Knight of Wands. Tarot of the week. Knight of Wands. I absolutely love the Knight of Wands because the Knight of Wands is all about lighthearted energy. She's about having fun. She's about, stepping into her passionate fire, being creative, like letting her passion take over, going with the flow, like not taking everything so seriously all the time. And I actually think that this card is perfect for what this episode is because, just disclaimer, we picked this episode on a whim. We kind of changed our order. We have planned episodes, but I thought, like I showed Kim this one and we were running with it. Kim, what is this episode about?
This is spirituality. Why so serious?
That's right. Why we take spirituality so serious. Why we take religion so serious. And how we should not. Okay, not all the time. Probably like 95% of the time we should not be taking it serious. Okay. So that's what this episode is about. And I think it's a good episode because Kim and I get such heavy questions from you guys sometimes as clients, outside of clients. And you guys are always asking us the amount of questions that Kim and I get. Even some actually happened on this podcast where people are like, am I doing this right? How can I pray right? How can I cleanse right? How can I it's like we can feel your guys's stress and anxiety in fear of messing up a prayer, or fear of messing up a cleansing for yourself.
No such thing.
You can't mess up a prayer. No such thing.
It's intention.
Absolutely no such thing.
And I guarantee you, I don't care what anybody says, you can follow the religion the hardest. There is not going to be a lightning bolt hitting you from the sky because of your beliefs or anything you did or didn't do. This is not a thing. I've said it so many times. You don't just come out of the womb and you're able to do it all. Right?
Absolutely not.
So
sorry, I went off screen.
That's all right.
Absolutely right. No, Kim is absolutely right. I needed a pen and I couldn't find it because I make notes. Where is my pen here? There's like 15 tarot card decks in front of me and no pen. Anyway, this is also, Kim, our 30th episode.
It's our 30th. Oh, oh, happy 30th
I
birthday.
know.
So we're
I know.
over. That would make us over 6 months, right? How many is 6 months?
I'm an art student, so I can't help you with
Yeah,
that.
I don't math, but
September, October, November, December, January, February, 6 months, because we started end of August or
yeah, we
September 1st.
released it. Yeah, end of August, I think. Yeah.
Whoa, 6 months.
Look at that.
That's crazy. And we missed it. We missed our 6 month anniversary.
Well,
Yikes.
not really. Wouldn't it be today?
Would it be
Would
today?
be the day we're recording. Because
I'm gonna have to count the week.
wasn't it the 28th of August or our first one that came through? Oh, sorry.
Get out. Is it? Because today's the 28th.
28th or 30th. 23rd or 30th. Might have
All
been
right,
the
close enough.
23rd.
I'm counting it.
All right. So happy
Close enough.
anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy
And
30.
happy anniversary. to
Happy
everybody
30
listening.
episode anniversary. It seems
That's right.
It blows me away to think that there's 30 episodes.
I know. I'm kind of like, what did we talk about?
Yeah. Like, huh.
Anyway, back to spirituality.
Here we are.
And not taking it so seriously.
See, we're not taking it seriously.
No, we don't. Well, we do, but we don't. We do, but we don't. We take our clients very seriously.
Yes.
Okay. We take our listeners very seriously. But you'll find that both Kim and I bring a fun edge to the way that we read. If you've read with Kim, which is something that I've heard, I've had my clients go and read with Kim, and they've all said the same thing. They feel very peaceful and calm and at home with her, and she's funny because she is funny because she doesn't take it that seriously, because they don't take it that seriously on the other side either.
Nope.
FYI, guys. Right?
We all end up at the same place.
Yeah.
We all
They're
have
having
this-
a good time.
We all have the same transition. So, yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Taking spirituality seriously. Putting it in a box. Everybody knows Kim and I are anti-box. We talk about it all the time.
Yes.
Why is spirituality and why is religion put into a box? Well, I hate saying this because it's true, but for a lot of situations when you are involved in a type of religion of some kind, not all, of some kind, same with any spiritual movement, if it feels very constrained, if it feels like you have to follow the rules 24 hours a day, you've got to do the reason behind that a lot is control. There's an aspect of control within these, I would say, foundations. And I'm not saying that in a way to make you think that, oh my God, they're all cults. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But if you correlate some religions and some spiritual practices, if you sit down and you really kind of, read their rules and you've kind of learned a little bit about them, you're going to see how constrained they make certain things, right? How only this prayer will give you healing. Only this prayer will be answered by Jesus, right? Only this type of meditation will help you move to your higher being, right? Things like that. If you are in a practice that kind of really pushes that down your throat, please know that that is not true. Okay. No one prayer will work, or will work. Any prayer will work if you're asking God for something. If you're asking for healing, you can honestly, literally get down on your knees if you're a knee prayer and honestly just ask for the thing that you need to be healed to be healed. There's nothing specific or special that you need to do with it. God does not have those kind of rules. It doesn't matter if you're using holy water on your crucifix before you pray. It doesn't matter if you have a crucifix, right? It doesn't matter. It's like you don't need to go into a church. You don't need to go into a temple.
Nope.
You can literally sit in your bed or sit on the ground if you're spiraling and having a bad day and you need to lay on the ground. I cannot tell you how many times I've spiraled or had my dark souls of the nights, literally laying flat on the ground because I feel very grounded when I'm, flat. And that is when I say my prayer, or that is when I say whatever I'm doing. I am not holding my crucifix. I do have one. But I'm doing it in the moment that I feel called to do it in. And I do it the way that I feel called to do it in. And whenever I feel called to do it my way is when I feel more connected. I'm going to tell you guys that I feel more connected when I do it the way that makes me feel comfortable than I ever have if I'm listening to someone tell me how to meditate. If I'm listening to somebody be specific on a prayer, I do not feel as connected to God or an angel or the energy if I'm doing it by what somebody else is telling me must be done. Never. Right?
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is, I'm sure some people do. There are lots of people that, it's ingrained in their mind. Nope, that's how it's got to be done. That's how it got to be done. And that's how it works for them. That's great. And that's great. But to those people, I'm also going to say, stick with it if that's what works for you, but explore, because you're going to be surprised how amazing certain things will feel outside of the box when it comes to religion and spirituality. When you're not following 100% the rigid rules, you will be surprised at how alive your spirit, in a sense, and your consciousness will feel.
Yeah. And really, the long and the short of it is, it just comes right down to intention.
Yep.
That's all it is. It's just intention. So when, say, you want to send healing to someone, all you got to do is, okay, I'm going to send healing to that person.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you need to do. Like, that is, you've set the intention, and that's it. That's all you need to do.
I think that's a good point, because the healing thing is something we see all the time. We see it on the Facebook and all the, the TikToks and stuff. We see the, please send me your prayers. Please, think of this person. We all see those petitions out there. And then I see all those people, I see some people commenting. I've actually seen people commenting how, or like, just, liking it. If somebody's asking for a prayer, you don't have to sit down. You don't have to take, 10 deep breaths, and you don't have to envision a white light to send them healing. Like Kim says, it's literally just being like, please, God, make sure this person's okay. Please, God, send my love towards this person. Things like that actually work whether you believe it or not, because as Kim said, it's your intent and is your energy. That's all that it is. And they will feel it. They will pick it up that way. Right? Very important. It's very, very important. And there are so many downsides, and I see this from time to time with people that take spirituality very seriously, because we live in a day and age, and I am going to call out spirituality in a sense when it comes to social media here, because I have so many clients and I see this all the time. I see the posts, this is how you meditate. If you focus on this, this is how it's going to help you telepathically get to this. This is, oh my God. Oh my God, it is information overload when it comes to spirituality on social media. And people don't know whether to go left or right. They don't know if this exercise is going to work to help them connect, or if this exercise is going to work that helps them connect. So much information out there that people overanalyze and overcomplicate things, and then they have trouble connecting. Do you know what I mean?
And well, you put expectations on it. So like, you'll see that, oh, stop, don't scroll. You got to, watch this entire video and then put whatever on it so that, then this will happen. But if you don't save this video and like spin around 3 times in your room and chant 1111111 for 10 minutes, it's not going to happen. Like, too bad. And if you don't save it, but like, you see that, right? Like, it's like,
everywhere,
it's
everywhere.
Ridiculous.
Fear mongering everywhere, everywhere. And we see that. And I see so many people commenting on it, and fine, to each their own. If you believe that, you believe that. But please also know that if you forget to share it, or if you forget to comment, claim, or whatever you're commenting there, 111, like Kim said, you're not in trouble. It's still going to work your way. It's still going to work in your favor, whether you do all that or not. But the whole concept is that we have made society feel that they need to follow all these rules when it comes to spirituality, not religion in a sense. Let's put that to the side for a second, but spirituality on its own. You need to meditate to get this. You need to cleanse every week, because if you don't cleanse every week, all these negative energies are going to be stuck on you all the time. You're going to carry them everywhere. You've got to cleanse this way. You've got to, boundaries this way. Oh my God. And then we wonder why people feel spiritually depleted.
Yep.
And unable to connect.
Well,
so
they just think they're failing, right? Like, they just think like, I didn't do this, and now I've failed because I didn't say it enough, and then nothing happened. Well, no, nothing happened is because you in your head thought, oh crap, I didn't do X, Y, and Z, so nothing's going to happen. No, you put that intention that it's not going to happen because you didn't do X, Y, and Z.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. That's because we feel constrained, because we feel stuck, because we feel like we have to follow this to the T with what we're seeing, or it's not going to work. What?
Yeah, no, no,
No. That's not how God works. In
no.
fact, if that's what you're thinking, he's probably laughing a little bit at you and then
Yeah,
feeling bad that that's what you think.
I assume that
Right?
he's got a bit of a sense of humor. He's got to,
Oh, 100%
with
do I
what's
believe
here.
God is doesn't humor.
He better
Seriously.
have a sense of humor, otherwise
He's
he's
I'm
probably
telling you.
he's probably drinking too. So
I'm telling you, he's probably up there and he's probably laughing and being like, I gave these guys the ability to create their realities from scratch and free will. And this is what they're doing to themselves. That's probably what he's thinking. I think
yeah,
that sometimes. Okay.
and
I
they're
think that.
and they're sitting there and they're fighting with each other, and they
Yeah.
got their,
Like, what are they doing?
you know,
Like, what are they doing?
fingers up their nose, and they're, you know, like
Yeah.
being rude to each other, but they can
Being
spread
mean.
love and, you
I
know,
know.
feed
What are they
everybody
doing?
and all these things that we can do. But
I think that myself. Sometimes I'll sit there and be like, hold on a second. I can literally change everything that's going on right now in front of me. Why am I not doing it? Anyway,
yeah,
that's what I think God thinks. And Kim agrees with me.
yeah,
So if
he
you
thinks we're
find yourself,
weirdos.
well, we are weirdos,
I know, we all got to be a little
right? But
weird.
he still loves us. He still
Mm-hmm.
loves us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you do start feeling energetically depleted, and you will know you're going to feel depleted by feeling completely overwhelmed about what you've got to do to move spiritually forward, it will happen. You're going to be like, should I meditate? Oh my God, I got to make sure I get my meditation in. Oh my God, I got to make sure I shadow. Oh, I got to make sure I got a journal. Oh, I got to make sure I have my cleansing bath. Oh, I got to, no. Don't make sure of anything. If you find yourself really struggling to kind of come up with that schedule, stop immediately and take a day to do none of that. Okay. Take a day to do none of that. If you're feeling spiritually depleted or spiritually strung out, that's what I call it. When you're so like rigid with it. And you know what I mean by that, guys. You know what I mean by spiritually strung out. Okay. Stop. Because spirituality is supposed to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Religion is supposed to be, whether you guys believe it or not, it's supposed to be fun. We decided as human beings to make some religions so scary and, other things.
That's how we
But they are not
control.
supposed to be. Yeah, control. Yeah. That's not how it's supposed to be.
No,
Life is not supposed to be taken that seriously. You've got to take life seriously sometimes. It's inevitable, but you're supposed to have fun with life. And spirituality is supposed to help you connect to that part of your life, connect to that inner child, connect to. I'm telling you something, when I lose myself in the moment of, whether it's a spiritual practice, great. Or if I lose myself in the moment when I'm like having a really good conversation with Kim, or doing something with my kids, or working on, a book or my art, whatever I'm doing, when I lose myself, that is when I feel so connected to the source, is when I'm just lost in that moment. And oftentimes when I find myself lost in that moment, it is play. Do you know what I mean? Like my soul just feels so light and airy and exciting, and that is when I feel so connected.
yep.
And that is what helps us cultivate gratitude
Well, I
and
know
appreciation.
even like for me, when I'm, I can have like a long day at work, and then
Hmm.
a lot of times I'll come home and do a reading.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, aren't you tired?" No, I'm not, because I was able to spend time with beautiful spirits. Um, like it's an honor to do so, to give messages to other people that are healing. That, like, that is not exhausting, and that is beautiful. Like it's
Yeah.
just, yeah. And that's me, like I'm not trying, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm awake, and then I'm I'm good to go. But like the worst days can be just, or the more challenging days, I should say. um I always find if I have a reading after, the reading's always just improved it.
Oh, see, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well,
And that's true because I've had days that were just really poopy, or I've had situations that have been really poopy, and then I will read for a client or several clients, and I feel so uplifted after I read for them. Like I just, it's their energy. Even if the cards are telling me something that's not so great, it's just their energy. Like it's wonderful, and it does make you feel connected, and it reminds you of what's important.
yeah.
I love that.
That client who yelled at you, that wasn't important, right? Like that was just them being frustrated.
That
That
was
had nothing to do with you, other than the fact that you were the closest person to them at that time.
Yeah.
So, like that's all that is.
Yeah.
Um, so just don't take it. But then when you go and you do a reading and you just know, like, I've just connected someone with someone who loved them in a, who's
Oh, I
not
love
here
that.
with them anymore, and they are giving them messages so they know that they mattered to this person, and that they what they do does not go unnoticed.
Hmm.
Their challenges are not going unnoticed. Like they've got someone there. So when you can take these things that our ego feels that it needs to be upset
Yes.
about,
Yes.
and then you can turn to this, like it's just so
It's
beautiful, and
wonderful.
it's an honor. It absolutely is an honor.
I love that you call it is an honor. It is 100% is it an honor.
Yeah, because
That's it. That's lovely.
you're
That's
working
lovely.
with, like, you know they're not going to work with you if you're you know rude, or they're not going to come through to you.
Yeah.
And they are using you, and for them to pick you, it's like when I do a reading for someone, it's spirit who's really picked them to have a reading from me, because spirit
Hmm.
makes it happen, right?
Hmm.
um and so there's no sense if you say you want to get a reading, and then you're like, oh, who do I get a reading from, and you just get over, like, oh, should I go this person,
Yeah.
should I
It
go this
happens
person?
though.
um
Hmm.
yeah, well, absolutely, but what you need to do is just go with who feels right. um I've even had, and spirit will put this stuff in your way. I don't ever go to South Edmonton. But a couple years ago, I got a phone call from a lady who found my business card
Oh, I love
in
the
a
story.
South Edmonton furniture store. And she had been thinking about how she needed a reading. So she had called me because she's like, oh, were you here? I like, no, I was not. And she said, well, I found your business card when I was at work, and I want to get a reading. So, like, I live, I guess, north of
Yes.
Edmonton. So, like, I'm not even anywhere close. I didn't,
I was gonna say you're not close. Yeah.
so, you'll find out, like, people will be just walking down the street and they've found cards, or
I
they'll
love
just
that.
hear a name, you know? So, just the whole thing is not necessarily up to you. So
Oh,
that's why you
100%.
don't take it so seriously, because you
Yes.
will be connected. And like, I know that if we do like group readings, say Richard and I are doing platform readings, and we got like
Hmm.
30-40 people, and we're giving messages, a lot of times he'll get certain people and I'll get certain people. And it's because these people have found you to get the message to to their loved ones,
Hmm.
and they're using the medium that they feel that they can connect best with. So
Hmm.
like Richard's probably going to get somebody who's maybe from Ireland and knows a lot of areas where I don't, right? um and he's probably not going to get a lot of Canadian grandmas, like
Hmm.
it's just we will, right? Like, we'll get
Yeah.
these
Makes sense to
people.
me. Yeah.
And it's yeah, spirit's picking that up, like
I
it's.
love that.
But there has been times actually that him and I have done readings, and we've done this. It's kind of cool. I will do the same person, so we'll do it together. We do like a duo thing, so we'll kind of bring up, and then we'll find different parts of the person, right? So there's really neat things. But there's one thing that Richard does that's really cool.
Okay. What is it?
um and you wouldn't know unless you've come, but he started several years ago. He the like the afternoon before an evening with spirit, so it's like a group reading.
Right.
He will go to Safeway or whatever, and he will go find flowers, and he'll go pick up flowers, and he's told, spirit tells him which flowers to get. So then we do the reading. Before we do the readings, he tells us all who's ever giving readings, what flowers he has. And when we're giving messages, we'll know these flowers are for so and so, or like
Oh my God, I love
one I
that.
had was he didn't even know what the flowers were, but I was like, oh, it sounds like forget-me-nots. And he's like, I don't know what they're called. Right. And then we were kind of getting close to the end. And then I said, oh, like this is this lady. Like I started getting panicking because I knew we were all, I think I was giving the last message and I was panicking that someone was going to give it away because I felt like, oh my gosh, this is for this lady. So I gave this lady the message and I was like, these are flowers are for you. Coincidentally, they were forget me nots. She had forget me nots tattooed on her arm from her father who came through.
Oh my God, I love that.
You know, so there's absolutely beautiful things that happen. Um,
Chills.
so, you know, why take something so seriously when spirit has such an infinite, beautiful wisdom?
Right? And look at how fun that was. Look at that.
Oh, people
And
love
that's
it.
that's the whole point. That's the whole point. That's actually so what you just told, I have a list of ways that you can make spirituality not so like serious, right? And one of the ways on the list is social connection, which is basically what Kim just described. Social connection, not just physically, verbally in our 3D world, but social connection in the world we cannot see, because you got to remember we only see 3% of reality, right? We do not see what's going, like, it's crazy. We do
Yeah.
not see, but the social connection, to share experiences and build connections, in our physical world and in our spiritual world, are key to, or one of the key points that I found, of course, that makes spirituality fun, is building those type of connections. So I 100% agree with, like, that's amazing. That's an amazing story.
Yeah. Well, and it's
So
just beautiful
important.
how he does it, you know? So whenever we
Yeah.
have those, he doesn't know who's coming. Spirit does.
Hmm.
And one other story was really neat. He came with a bunch of, I think, white roses. It
Okay.
was weird. It was like a bunch of white roses and one red rose. And
Okay.
he was like, I don't know what to do with this red rose. Like, if it's supposed to be, because it was however it was done, it was connected, however the flowers were. And I said, I think it's separate. Well, it
Hmm.
ended up being that, first of all, it's kind of neat. Um, the person who got the flowers, like the white
Right.
ones, his mother's name was Rose. And the one red one, he realized it wasn't for that man. He had it because there is a lady who's actually a really good friend of mine. When her husband was alive, he would go, when he would come to see her, because they were kind of a long distance for the first bit, he would go to see her. He'd stop at 7-Eleven and buy her like the ugliest roses because he felt so bad that nobody would buy it.
Oh, I knew it. I was gonna say, because nobody bought the old
So
ones.
he would go and buy them and like a single rose. So very often she'll just get a single rose.
Oh my
And
God,
he
you
knew
see
that
that?
day like that had to be separated, right? And it was like around their anniversary. So, you know, like
Oh, I love it.
all these things happen. Um, but you have to come in person to see it.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Hmm.
Um, that's amazing. That's amazing and important. Cultivating social connections,
Hmm.
is a fun way to tap into your spirituality and to make you feel a little bit less rigid and more alive in it. Creative expression is another one, and the creative, we all know what that is: writing, painting, dancing, whatever, anything to explore what you're going through in the moment. All right. You don't have to sit down and write a novel about your spirituality. You could just sit down and start automatically writing, which, by the way, I push on so many people because it is insanely therapeutic. But things like that, like painting your meditation. If you meditate, paint your meditation place. We all have one place. If you're an avid meditator like me, you've got one place that you go to. I've got two, and I can see it clear as day, even though they're just constructed in my mind. Paint it. Movement, dance, big one, yoga, like, dancing around your room in your underwear counts.
Yeah.
Okay. Things like that. All these types of things. Tai Chi. The reason why it's listed here is because it's known to help like boost the endorphins really well within your body, and it connect with your body. These are all practices that help connect with your body, because yes, we are separate of our body. Our consciousness is within us, but our body helps that connection, especially physically, right? Nature's connection. Visit high energy spots in nature. So waterfalls, meadows, those kinds of places. But high energy spots, yes, like I said, they're waterfalls, they're meadows, they're rivers. High energy spots in nature are also spots that you yourself just feel called to. If you feel called to stand by a tree that's in the middle of a farm field and there's nothing else around it, it's kind of boring, but that's what you always feel called to, that's a high energy spot. Things like that. Tap into your spirituality that way. Another amazing thing, and I love this, is mindful playing. And mindful playing is making sure that you schedule, because we're adults and we always forget this, but schedule in fun activities for yourself, whether it's sitting down and reading a book because you love to read books, or sitting down and doing a puzzle, or playing a game, listening to a music that used to really like pump you up in a sense as a kid. Schedule that in, okay? Intentional fun, that's another one. Schedule playtime into your calendar weekly or monthly, depending how oftentimes you want to do it. But it helps make a space for kind of like that kind of joyful energy, and intentional fun and playtime is exactly what it sounds like. It's playing.
Well, and there's something I can tell you. If you're having a bad day and you're miserable, and you can't shake it, I'm going to tell you the best thing you can do is go on YouTube and put in baby giggles
Oh yeah.
and watch babies giggling, or
Yeah, baby gigglers are
watch
funny. I
like
like
puppies
them.
playing, right?
Yeah. That's
And
it.
do that.
Playtime. That's literally what it
Do
is.
that, and you will shift your mood because you have pulled away from needing to be serious, needing to feel like you have to have everything in control, because you don't. You absolutely don't. But if you can go and watch like a baby laughing, you think, that baby, what does that baby worrying about right now? Nothing. And
Yeah.
that's what you
Yeah.
need to do. And
That's
you will be
exactly it though.
laughing after too.
Yeah. Honestly, that's good advice. I like that. I don't watch babies giggling, but I do like watch funny videos of like animals, like kittens and dogs, and like baby foxes and baby squirrels, like just being silly and funny. I love that stuff. It makes me laugh. That's play. That is play. Okay? That kind of stuff. So don't knock it. Don't knock it, and don't think that I don't have time for that. You have time for it, you make time for it, because it is going to make you feel better, right? We also have, and I like this, mindful eating. Now, mindful eating, a lot of people get that confused, but mindful eating is honestly just eating what your body feels called to get nourishment. I'm not talking about when your body feels called to eat 4 brownies in a row. I'm talking about when your body is like, okay, hey, you need to have some kale. That's me. My body's like, we need kale now. Um, or you need to have some pumpkin seeds. If you're still, you're going to hear your body tell you what it needs, especially if it's something healthy for you. And that is a big plus, because we all know that our gut is our second brain, and our second brain activates our top brain. So nourishing and mindfully eating. Have fun making your food. And I'm saying that as someone who doesn't cook. Have fun making your food. Okay. Listen to one of your favorite podcasts when you're making it. Listen to, music when you're making your salad, something like that. But little things like that, guys, we we underestimate how high vibrational energy it can be. Do you know what I mean? That little kind of stuff. And last but not least, and I actually talked about this with someone today, is declutter your space. And I do believe in this one. I do believe in removing things that no longer resonate with who you are or who you're not trying to be is key. Removing, old clothes that you haven't worn in 6 months to a year. Removing, in my stance, tarot decks that I haven't used in years and years that are under my bed. Removing old makeup. Removing old sheets that you don't even put on your bed anymore. Getting rid of that stuff, donating it, whatever you're going to do with it. Don't donate makeup though. But whatever you're going to do with it, invites an expansion of amazing new energy into your life. Okay. And we underestimate that. And we put off decluttering. Oh my God. People do it once a year, if that. I do it every month. And I'm telling you, I do get more clients, more clothes, really, really cheap. I will get like more money coming in that month. It works. And you know what? And I do make it fun because I'm not a cleaner, so I make it fun. But things like that will help you take spirituality not so seriously. Right?
Yep. And it's like, yeah, just get things organized to something
Mm-hmm.
that's aesthetically, here we go again,
Aesthetically pleasing.
pleasing to you, right? You can have a closet that's full of quilts and boxes and everything all
Mm-hmm.
over, or you can get some nice organizers and have the bins in. What are you going to feel happier about if you open that closet? Are you going to be happy
Yeah.
if the toilet paper and everything falls out onto you and then you can't close the door and you're trying to kick in the
Can you
blanket?
imagine?
I can tell you no, because that can be my closet at times.
I was gonna be like, because that's Kim's closet.
It is. But that's, it didn't have the pieces. But now I have purchased
Yeah.
a thing to stack them in there.
Good.
It was just, all the stuff was taken out after there was an incident in my house, and just had another incident. So,
Mhm.
you know, um, that's how Spirit keeps me, apparently keeping that closet clean.
Yeah. You hear that?
Damn
Because Kim did do
floods.
it, so Spirit took over. So
Yes.
declutter.
Yes.
Declutter, people.
Don't wait for a flood that makes you have to learn a new skill by putting in a new faucet into your bathroom.
Oh, Lord. But those are examples. Those are just some examples of ways you can make spirituality fun. And a lot of them are common sense, but a lot of them not so common sense, right? We often don't think of decluttering as a tool to connect spiritually. We often don't think socially connecting with people, as with Kim's story, is a way to tap into our spirituality, connecting with people, loved ones on the other side, however, is easy for you, and connecting one-on-one with people who share your beliefs. Also very important, but we don't think about those things when we're going through this kind of stuff. We might think about, oh, okay, you know what, I got to meditate today because I need to connect, or oh, okay, I got to journal today, and I got to pull out my shadow workbook because I need to connect. But we don't think about the other stuff. We don't think about the fun. We don't think about the dance. We don't think about the creativity that is immense with spirituality. People don't understand. You say spirituality, but spirituality has such a beautiful creative element to it. Beautiful, right?
Well, also, um, pay attention to the people that are falling away. Okay,
Oh.
if you're going to be serious about something, be serious about that. If you're finding that someone doesn't resonate with you, their vibrations are lower, you don't feel good around them, um, things they say might offend you or grate on you, their negativity, you know, if they fall away, that's okay.
Yeah,
And don't feel
that's
guilty.
good.
Don't try to take it serious like, oh, I'm a bad friend, I'm this or that. No, you are just shifting into a different vibration. And when you shift to a different vibration, going up higher, you're going to find people who are going to come in and take that place with a much higher vibration, and it'll be more fulfilling to you,
Hmm.
right? But you don't need to be serious and control it. Like, oh, well, this is my, friend from 800 years. And so, I have to be friends with them all the time. No, you don't. You absolutely don't. You only need to keep up those relationships that fill,
Hmm.
fill your cup, because the other ones, they will find other people too. You need to worry about yourself. You need to worry, if somebody's negative to you all the time. Like if you have your child and someone was negative to your child all the time, and your child kept saying, well, I have to be friends with them, I've known them since kindergarten, but they're really, really awful. What are you going to say to your child? Okay, yeah, you're right, that's a longtime friend, you better stick in that thing. No, no, that's not what you're going to tell your child. So you go by that yourself. Like, take your own advice, what you would tell your child.
I like
I
that.
would never
Take your own
tell
advice. Exactly.
never tell my child to maintain a relationship that was not healthy for them.
No. And that's a good point. Oftentimes, especially when it comes to spiritual and religious foundations, we feel like we have to have a relationship, cultivate a relationship with individual or individuals that we don't 100% agree with because they are wise, because we're told so, because they have all these books out, they have all these meditations out, they have hundreds and millions of followers on the TikTok, and they know what they're talking about, but we don't 100% resonate with the things that they say, and we feel bad, but it's something must be wrong with us, but it's okay, I'll just keep listening, I'll just keep talking to them because maybe one day I'll get it. No. If you do not get it and you do not feel comfortable right off the bat,
Yeah.
Chances are you aren't ever
Yeah,
with a
if you're fighting yourself or
yeah.
fighting your ideals, and not saying that you can't have anything to do with these people, you can, but you just don't invest everything into them. Invest,
Yeah.
pay attention to how you feel. You can have little bits of time with them, but you don't make your whole life about them,
Of course.
but
No, you don't.
a lot of people feel that need because they're, related or whatever reason,
Hmm.
oh, like I still have to keep this person in my life. Well, how miserable are you while that person is in your life? And I'm not saying that it's not a
Yeah.
bad thing, you know, they probably feel worse about themselves because they can't come up to you.
Just gonna say
And
that.
never ever go to that extent of trying to drag someone up to you
No, no, no.
because
They'll rise to meet you.
they are going to hurt you by trying. They're going to be angry because you're forcing them. How many kids love to be woke up in the morning when their mom's like, get up, you got to go to school? Like, how many kids are like, yes mom, I love you, this is great? It's the same thing when you're trying to
Yeah.
drag somebody up. They're just like, what the hell are you doing, put me down, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got to just give yourself
Yeah.
that grace and know that you know you can surround yourself by the people are that lift you up.
Yeah. Honestly, people like that, they'll either rise to meet you, right? And most times they do. Usually months, weeks, years later, they will rise to meet you, or they will fall away, and be replaced by somebody phenomenal,
Yep.
somebody on your level, right? And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Even when it hurts, there's nothing wrong with it. It does happen. But most people will eventually rise and meet you. We 9 times out of 10 we do reconnect with a lot of people from our past. So just, give yourself that grace. Like Kim says, it's not working out. It's not making you feel good. You've got to walk off. You go. Off you go. Maybe that person will come back in a few weeks to a few months, be completely changed and completely new, and somebody you can connect with. Okay. But don't hold on just because you have to, in a sense.
No.
You need to, in a sense. That's no bueno.
And when you look back in history, um up until recently, relatively recently, people have felt that they needed to stay in relationships, and
Yep.
didn't matter how miserable they were, this was something they had to do, had to keep you know different relationships going, right? So you don't need to do that. You
Nope.
don't. You just follow what feels good for you. And you're not a worse person if and I'm not advocating for divorce or whatever, but you know what? If you are in a situation where your life feels like it's awful, you just aren't happy, and people have their own reasons, right?
Of course.
It's okay. You're not going to anywhere bad because you've made this decision. But you know what you're going to do is you are giving yourself an opportunity to start a new life that is more in alignment for who you are.
Yes, exactly. And it doesn't affect your beliefs. I'm telling you, it getting rid, and I know that's harsh, but getting rid or distancing yourself from a connection like that does not fall back on your spirituality in the slightest or your religious beliefs in the slightest, because a lot of people, Kim is right, they don't make that move because of, they can't, they have to stay, they need to stay, whatever. And also because maybe they don't believe it, or maybe because they have to help them change, they have to help work through them, with they have to move through these trials and tribulations with them, whatever you're thinking in your head. Walking away from something that constantly pulls you down does not affect your spirituality in the way that you think it does. In fact, it ignites it. It ignites it and it lifts you higher. I'm telling you this because I have been in that situation multiple times as an empath. Kim has been in that situation multiple times. It elevates you. Your spirituality tends to skyrocket after that, okay? So take that as it resonates, guys, but don't stay. Don't put up with any of that. If you don't have to, and 9 times out of 10 we don't have to,
You
we
don't.
just think we have to.
Just, be true to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, Interesting that you just said that, because my question today, now, not it's not exactly a question as to somebody asking for advice,
Okay.
which by the way we do too. And this is somebody that a client of mine. She will remain anonymous, and she asked me this as part of her as part of her reading with me. And I said, can I like say what, like, can I use your story a little bit on my podcast, and can I, as the question? And she said, yes, you absolutely can, as long as you don't use my name. So absolutely fine.
Hey, Cindy. Just kidding.
No, it's not Sydney.
I'm just kidding.
So, but I can let you know that she is 23, 24 years old, and she comes from a very religious background. She doesn't want me to say what the religion is, but it is a very popular one of the most well-known religions in the world. Okay, and she's starting to question things, quite a lot of things. So she says that sometimes she feels like she has to hide what she believes in because of my family, which again, guys, is very religious, very, very religious. And it's awkward because I'm moving into being, I think, a more devout Wiccan. Is there any advice that you can give me, or any type of route you think I should take to try to feel a little bit stronger in my beliefs and cultivate the courage not to hide them? Sometimes I can't read my own writing. So anyway, so it's basic. That's what she came to me. Like, she, Nikki, how, like, can the cards show me how I can become more confident? Like, she doesn't want to tell her family everything, but she does want them to stop making her feel a certain way. She does want her family to be, she doesn't think they're ever going to be okay with what she's doing. They very much so believe in God, heaven and hell.
Yeah.
I can say that.
Yeah.
The She is learning more about being a Wiccan, and it does resonate with her. She's very happy. I can tell she's so happy about learning about this. But this is a religion that would, or back in the day, did have something to do with, the trials with women and that situation. So we'll just say that. So she's wondering if there's any advice, basically, on how she can go about this without hurting her family and not being so scared to be involved in that kind of.
Well, I would say you don't need to, like, people don't need to know everything in your life. You don't need to tell everybody every single thing that you're doing. You have the right to keep some things private. And if there is something that,
Even from your family,
yeah,
by the
it
way.
does not matter who it is. If there is something that feels good to you, is not harming anybody, right?
Yeah, no, she's not.
And it's something that helps raise you, keep it, you can keep it private to yourself, and maybe share it with other like-minded people, right? So that you can at least have some kind of a connection with it.
Hmm.
Because really, you're not, you're you're only causing angst if these are people who can't see that, this is something that's good for you, that's, makes you feel better. um they don't need to know about it, right? Like, so if they're not going to support you, they don't need to know.
No.
And I can tell you for a fact, so my grandmother was extremely religious, a very strong Christian, very strong. Like, we are talking basically
Fire and brimstone.
life, right? Like, I wasn't allowed to, they didn't even have a TV. They didn't listen to music.
Yeah, it was like mine. Yeah.
Clothes, no earrings, no, like, you couldn't have
Yeah.
makeup or whatever. Like, it was
No.
so religious. Um, and, basically everybody was going to HE double hockey sticks for whatever, right? And my grandmother passed away in 2009, and her and I were always very, very close. She is by far my biggest teacher. She comes through almost every reading. She has told me, said things like, basically, you don't need to follow tradition. Like, she was the one, she was there, like, okay, yeah, you don't need to stay married. Um, And this is someone who stayed married for 60 some years until my grandfather died, right? So, you know, and I know that a lot of these people who have been married for this long, long period of time aren't happy, right? But to have this woman who would have potentially been like, clutch your pearls because I'm getting a divorce or whatever, or doing any things I do, she is there and she's like right there and she's into things that I never would have imagined, right? She's like my little matchmaker and everything. So, like let them tell you that they appreciate you after, I guess, if that's a point. But
Yeah.
they don't need to know.
Yeah.
They don't. This is something personal to you, and I really do
That's
believe
what I said.
people need to realize that, blow your mind, religion and politics are personal to you. You don't have to share with everyone.
No, it's shocking the amount of people that think that they get to know that they have a right to know your opinion and your beliefs. It's shocking.
And the right to challenge you because they think theirs is better. Um, it doesn't make for good relations if there's
It's always
something, people who have those deep, strong feelings. So, yeah, it's very personal. And you have the right to not tell them. You have the right to do whatever you want. And so,
that's what I told her.
yeah,
That's
don't.
that's what I said. It's personal. It's yours. This is something that belongs to you in a sense, of course. You don't have to tell them now. If you're not ready to tell them now, you're not ready. There's no timeline that you have to tell them now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do anything. You will know when to tell them, and that's when you're going to tell them. Something like this can be very, very vague and can cause a lot of issues. Like Kim said, people think they have a right to know, are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? Are you a libertarian?
It's not that they have the right to, they
You,
think they have the
you
right
know,
to know. They have the right, they believe they have the right to try to force you into what they
that's fair.
want.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a big one.
I have my own opinions, but they're not very popular amongst anybody, really,
Yeah.
because I have my own opinions for religion and for politics. Um, I have a very different view than most people. So,
Yeah.
you know what? And that's where I don't have to worry. Like I'm just moving along and
Yeah.
it's my business. It's not anybody else's. So, if somebody asks you or, if it comes up, just say like, why do you want to know?
That's what I always say.
Mm-hmm.
People ask me how my weekend was, and I'm like, why? What do you want to know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just weird. But I will say something. As you get older, it gets easier.
Mm-hmm.
It gets easier to just not care.
Yeah.
It gets easy to just not lose your mind if somebody is like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that because if you're gonna do something like that, you're going to hell. You need to." No, yeah, like people will say that to me. Still, when it comes to my beliefs, which is funny because my beliefs are like, I don't know. Anyway, they will still say that to me. These people that are, 60, 70, 80 years old. Back in the day, I would have reacted a completely different way. I would have been like, well, too bad. This is what I believed in. I would have wasted my time and my own
Ugh,
energy
so much.
did like yeah arguing back with them or debating them, and now I just look at them and I literally just be like, well, that's your thing, that's not my thing, this is my thing, which funnily enough angers them more
More.
than when I debated them,
Yeah.
because they can't understand why I don't care. So you know what, love, or anybody who's going through something like this, you're moving towards your core religion or spiritual belief to something else, that will happen a lot. People get very upset when you don't care about their reactions. You must keep not caring about their reactions and you must keep trekking along. And it does get easier. Kim's advice, I think, was spot on. It's your thing, it's personal to you, it's your journey. You don't have to involve them at all if you don't want to. You don't even have to mention it. If they're asking you, hey, why aren't you going to church more often? Hey, why aren't you, like, what are you doing? Like something is, oh, I'm just doing me. Because I don't. Because with the period is a complete sentence, right? So you don't have to. If you're constantly worried about how your choices in life are going to make people in your life feel, They are living your life. You are not living yours.
Absolutely.
They're living your life for you.
And they
Remember
need to
that.
worry about themselves.
That's right. That is absolutely right. Okay. What you're going through is very common. Still,
Yeah.
still in 2026, very
Oh,
common
yeah.
to hide. Yeah, to hide your beliefs, to hide those things because you don't want to, disappoint your family, disappoint your friends, whatever it is. I see it all the time. I see it with a lot of my younger clients who will hide things even from their friends because they honestly feel like their friends just will think that they're being too old or they're
Mm-hmm.
being, I get that all the time. Oh no, I can't, like, no, they're going to think I'm old school. Who cares?
And you know what?
Who,
If you lose them as a friend, they're not really a friend.
No, they're not. And you know what? If this old school thing makes you happy, then they should be all for it. They should be like, awesome, do it up. Do it up if that's what you want. Great.
And if they
If
don't
that's
like what you do, a lot of times it's because they have their own ideas as to what it is, and not they're
open
not
minded.
they're not conscious enough to, or like they're not willing to learn about it. They've made their
Yes.
decision, and that's why they're fearful for
And
your
that's the end.
soul. Um,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. No, no. So
I
that's the
don't
best advice we
care.
can get.
I love it.
Oh, I love that song. Oh, I love that song. Listen, everybody, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the podcast.
Hmm.
We hope it was a little bit fun. It was a little bit, because the last couple ones a little bit heavy, but
Not so
we're hoping you guys
serious.
enjoyed this one. Yeah, and this one was supposed to be more casual and as if we're just having a conversation and stuff. And I really do think that it was like that.
Hmm.
I like it.
Yeah. So do your business. And so today I was told, how many episodes do you have? And I said, I think we've done about 30. And she said, oh, I keep missing them. How do I make sure I see them? So, YouTube or Spotify,
Here's the bell.
go on there, subscribe, and then the little bell, set the little bell so that you get reminded.
That's right.
Hi,
So you
Chester.
get reminded. And this is Chester.
Hi,
This is Chester
Chester.
telling you.
Bell, subscribe,
Subscribe.
like, subscribe, and
hit
share.
Twins bell.
And tell your friends.
That's right. And tell your friends. Tell your friends. We really do appreciate everybody listening, everybody commenting, people reaching out. We are going to do more lives on our TikTok, Kim and I together, Kim and I separately. So keep an eye on our TikTok, on our Instagram. Give us a follow. If you would like a reading, DM us. We will make time for you in our schedules to give you a reading. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to this episode, and we will see you next week.
See you later.
Bye.